This video will demonstrate the installation procedures for an Automatic Technology GDO-9 Dynamo overhead door opener. Before you start, make sure you've read the installation sheet and safety instructions. The opener can be mounted to a perforated angle or directly to the ceiling, so make sure you have enough headroom and access to power. Once you've chosen the mounting point, clear the work area and place a 2-metre exclusion zone around it. Check the condition of the door. Do this by moving the door up and down by hand. It should travel smoothly, be well balanced and easy to operate. If not, ensure a properly skilled professional tensions and services the door. Now that you have checked the door, it is time to open up the packages and check that you have all the items. Ensure that you have the correct tools on hand to complete your installation. Remove the opener and the C-rail from their packaging. Turn the opener over to find the shaft. Place the shaft into the sprocket in the C-rail and secure with the supplied brackets and screws. Place the drive unit back into its box for protection. Open the door and find the highest point of travel of the top door panel. Using a level, transfer this height to the wall above the door and mark a line 60mm above it. Check the wall is suitable to be a mounting platform. Close the door. Find the centre point of the top panel of the door and mark it. Find the centre point of the wall. Before marking the line, locate the first line on the wall and mark the centre point at this height. Measure 21.5mm on each side of the centre point and draw a line downwards. Centre the bracket over the intersection of these two lines. Mark the centres for each hole. Drill holes into the wall and secure with either 8mm Dynabolts for concrete and brick or 50mm wood screws. Leave the opener in its packaging box on the floor for protection and lift the other end of the C-rail. Attach the C-rail assembly to the wall bracket with the clevis and snap pins. Raise the drive unit from the packaging box and support it in the horizontal position with a step ladder. Line up the track perpendicular to the wall. Secure the perforated angle into the suitable fixings in the ceiling above the power head. Connect the opener to the perforated angle with screws and nuts. If fixing directly through the C-rail, please refer to the installation sheet. Find and mark for the centre of the door. Measure 1/3 down the top panel from this point and mark it. Place the door bracket locator over the door bracket and mount to this line using M6 or equivalent screws. Connect the bent arm to the door. Assemble the bent arm to the right side of the straight arm with the supplied bolts and nuts. Always use both the bent and straight arms. Disengage the trolley on the C-rail by pulling towards the door on the manual release cord. Connect the assembled arm to the trolley with the clevis and snap pins. Check the angles on the installation sheet. Start by turning on the power to the opener and removing the button cover. To make limit setting easier, you can code in a remote. Press and hold the door code button. Press a button on the remote for 2 seconds. Release and pause for 2 seconds. Press the same button again for 2 seconds. Release the door code button. Engage the opener by pulling the manual release cord towards the opener. Connect the C-rail's trolley with the chain or belt index by moving the door. If the trolley does not click firmly into the chain index, pull the cord backwards until it locks into place and try again. Open the door to halfway by pressing and holding button 1 on the remote. Release this button to stop. Press and hold button 4 on the remote and the door should start closing. When the door is close to the ground, release the button. Each quick press of button 4 will inch the door towards the ground. When the door is just touching the ground, press button 2 on the remote to record the closed position. To set the open position, press and hold button 1 to open the door. When the bottom of the door is close to the top of the opening, release the button. Each quick press of button 1 will inch the door towards the open point. When the bottom of the door is just below the opening, press button 2 on the remote to record the open position. Please note that the door will now automatically close, open and close. This is to calculate the safety obstruction forces. After this, the door is ready to operate. For coding of additional accessories and functions, refer to the coding remote section of the installation sheet. Now it's time to run the safety tests. To test the close cycle, press the remote button to open the door. Place a piece of timber approximately 40 mm high on the floor directly under the door. Close the door. The door should strike the timber and reopen. Additionally, place the opener's carton in the centre of the doorway, then close the door. The door should readily reverse upon contact with the carton. To test the open cycle, press the remote to close the door. Now open the door. When the door reaches approximately halfway, firmly grab the door's bottom rail. The door should stop. If the door does not reverse readily when closing or stop when opening, the force may be excessive and need adjusting. In cases of emergency, the door can be put into manual mode and opened by hand. To test the manual release mechanism, pull the manual release cord down. The door can now be operated by hand. To re-engage the door, pull the cord back towards the opener, then press a button on the remote and the opener will re-engage. By this stage, you've successfully completed installation and setup of your dynamo. If there are any issues, you can refer to the troubleshooting guide in your installation manual or refer to our website at automatictechnology.com.au.